Durag Diaries. Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the North Divide show. Let me pat in the background. Yes, familiar settings, familiar faces. You already know where it is by now as you're checking into the building. This is our 2 p.m. show where we discuss everything Tottenham and Arsenal. Today, of course, I'm usually with my co-host, man, like Hooks. What you saying, my bro?
No, I'm good, man. Do I sound calm?
Yeah. You sound calm, just a bit deflated, as expected. Because we're not gonna start on Arsenal. We're not gonna start.
I'm calm, bro.
I know you really don't want to talk about that because it was a tough weekend for Hooks. I know a lot of people would have seen the videos going into the weekend. Oh, you think that my team are gonna lose on my birthday? On my birthday, there's no way. And Tottenham are gonna win on my all of that. You guys saw all of the speech. He actually went on to near enough every channel that week and went with this confidence.
I saw the clip.
Absolutely
backfired.
It backfired every single way possible. I, on the other hand, 3 games in a row, picked up wins. 4-1. You know what I mean? Okay. We got the 4 goals. We got a few guys scoring goals. Jed Spence with his first in the Premier League, first in a long while. It feels good. It does feel good to be back on the winning side, and most definitely when Arsenal on the losing side, because you guys haven't lost a Premier League game for like 16, 17 games now. It's been a long time.
That's the first game that we've lost at home in the Premier League this season.
Well, there you go. I mean, let's not start there. We don't want to start on the Arsenal side because I think it's hurting over there right now. It's tough. And I think Hooks, it's best that we save it till later. We'll get round to it. Let's start on with what happened over at the Tractor Boys, over in Ipswich. We got our revenge. 3 points. I know you probably didn't catch the game, Hooks, but obviously you didn't expect Spurs to win. So what are your thoughts on the fact that Spurs, 4-1 win, now second highest goal scorers in the league again, over you guys, and we won on your birthday. Thank you for the good luck. How do you feel?
Yeah, man. Like, obviously, you man got much needed victory. 4-1, pretty convincing result. Like, I didn't watch the game, but when it's 4-1, I can only imagine that it was a convincing performance along with a convincing result. You got a few people. You got 4 people, a few people on the score sheet. I heard that thing had a very good game. Bergvall. I did hear that Bergvall had a very good game. But is Ipswich? I mean, at the end of the day, you got revenge on them because didn't them man patterned you up in it. So you just got a bit of revenge against the Tractor Boys. And I feel like, what? It's one of them results here where it's like you're happy, but at the same time, it's like, shit, man. I'm part of the reason why Manchester United probably won't get relegated now, because obviously you batted up a team that's below them, innit? So I do hear it. What's your aims now? Like, what are we talking? What are we talking? 8th, 7th? Like, where do we think?
Sky's the limit, man. The sky's the limit. We've got to see. We've actually got to just take it game. But as you said as I know you're probably gonna say later on the show before we get over to there. You got to take it game by game. You just got to focus on the next game ahead of you. We're still 6 points off of 10th. So currently we're 12th. We're in a decent position, level on points with Crystal Palace, a few points ahead of Everton and a few ahead of Manchester United, but still not in a great position. We've got to pick up 6 points on the teams ahead of us, as well as if we want to push on into that 8th or 9th, we're going to have to hope the likes of Chelsea, Brighton, Aston Villa do begin to drop points, which doesn't look too likely. So
I need you to win your next game,
You do. We're going to get onto that preview.
I need you to win your next game.
We need to actually wrap up when we're going. We need to speak backstage about when we're actually going to do prediction show for this week as well. Midweek games tomorrow.
Is there games on Tuesday?
Tomorrow on Wednesday.
Okay.
Tomorrow on Wednesday there's games. So a lot of midweek games to look forward to. But back to the Spurs game in particular, like you highlighted, Lucas Bergvall was moving mad. He was all over the gaff on the weekend. Obviously, again, it is only Ipswich, but for a young player like him to have a big performance, it's needed. We need someone to build confidence in the team, and it's looking like these 3 wins, everyone looks together again. You saw Madders when we scored Jed Spence got his goal. The team's going mad on the sidelines. Seems like the chemistry, and that we've got our Spurs back or anything like that, but the confidence is back. The players are starting to believe in the manager again, believe in the system, but most importantly, believe in themselves that they can go out there and actually convincingly beat teams. With regards to it being convincing, though, I'll be honest, it wasn't pretty. The first 10 minutes got real techie because they were through and goal. I know you probably saw the Aston Villa game. Yeah. Literally the same thing happened back. Within the first minute, my man's through on goal. Liam Delap could have finished it. Vicario with a couple big saves. And that happened a few times. As the game played on, you were just seeing Vicario make save, and Delap was putting it wide. So they had a few chances. I can't lie. In the first half, they were definitely dangerous. It makes sense why they've beaten the teams at the top. The likes of Chelsea got a draw against Manchester United. Like, they've got some big results against the bigger teams, and it made sense. But I don't actually think they have a home win this season. So with Ipswich, even when I looked at it like they're playing at home, I expected Spurs to get the job done. And Heung-min Son, bro, I don't know what it is, yeah, but my man is a number one at this in his career flat track bully. He's number one flat track bully because he just waiting to come up against these meaty defenders. Ben Godfrey, the 1-2 step and back post settings, man like Brennan Johnson. Hey, the conversation needs to start. Brennan Johnson has more than Man City's wingers. He has more than Chelsea's wingers. He has more than Arsenal's wingers, barring Saka, of course.
I mean, come on, like let's be like, come on, man. You can't be shameless like that. You can't be shameless like that, bro.
Is it not a conversation? I'm not saying he's better.
Wait, he doesn't have more than, okay, he may have more than the left wingers. He doesn't have more than the right winger, and the right winger's been out for 3 months.
Yeah, I said he ain't got more than Saka, but I said
he's been out for, yeah, but he's been out for 3 months, you know.
Well, he has more goals than Saka.
Here we go.
But no, that's what I said. I said he scored more than all these other teams' wingers. Brennan Johnson.
You don't want to. So you're Brennan Johnson. So are you going to apologize to him now?
No, what I'm going to say is...
I remember you was dissing him at the start of the season.
No. What I need to say is that I will admit I'm wrong if he gets like 20 goals in all competitions. Big facts, 100%. He's on 14 at the moment. 14 goals all comps. If he gets another 6 goals, then I will say I was wrong about the player. And I've always said Ange can get something about him. But if he gets 20 goals, then hey, that's a big amount of goals in the season.
How many assists does he have, or does he just have goals?
In the Premier League, just 2 assists. It's really weird because last season he got bare assists. He had 10 assists and 5 goals. This season he's got 9 goals and 2 assists. He's just scoring goals, just doing a tap in.
He's got 16 GA overall.
I don't know, but he might have more assists in the other competitions. Probably like 17 GA or no all competitions. So he's close to 20. I can't even lie. He might have.
Good, you know. That's good, you know. That's like,
for Brennan Johnson is high. He's effective, and this was the thing. Yeah, remember all these conversations where I had at the start of the season. They're cooking him up. I'm going, all right, Brennan Johnson more effective, and I kept saying the word effective because this is what I mean. Brennan Johnson's goal on the weekend. All he had to do was run at the back post, tap it in. The first one, good little cross from Sonny. The second goal, it was very similar. It just got laid across the box, and what does he do? Tap it in. He's just passing it into the goal. Brennan Johnson has really good movement, and I think Ange has obviously worked with him to get the best out of him. He is actually getting the best out of him if you look at the output. It's just his all-round effectiveness on the overall game is near to none. Big up Saeed for the raid, though. I think everyone come over now, so big up to everyone that's came over from Saeed, and also big up to the people that were here from the start. Big up to Drula each and every time. Get that stinky forward Arteta out of my club. Big up Jords and Hook. He was here before we even started. I hope all them deluded Arsenal fans are crying that their beloved leader can't win anything. We're going to ask Hooks that question real soon when we finish with the Spurs segment. But we're going to get around to it. Big up to Ilyas from Saeed Ray. Big up to Noah. Big up to Halimi. Big up to Joshua. Big up to Wolves FI. Elijah, we need to cook catch as well. You're right. We need to get on to catch because he was talking smoky. This is what you don't do. I was so tempted to jump on the match reaction when Manchester United when they drew to Everton. I was like, do you know what? Let me not be shameless. Let me let my game play out. Because there was all catch during the Man United game. We was on Hotspur Caves channel, yeah, at like 12:31, doing a little preview. Catch was on there. Yeah, bro. Don't worry. We're going to beat West Ham. Don't worry, bro. All 1 hour before kickoff, doing up the Hooks thing. And this is what happens. It comes back to bite you in your ass. At the end, it does. But back to Tottenham because I think the one thing that this game highlights for me is one of the biggest issues with Tottenham as a club. We only slap teams right now 4-1, 3-1, 5-1, or the tight games we lose. So going into this game midweek, I mean, Hooks, do you think that we can take any confidence from the 3-game win streak that we've built up to go into City? And obviously City are 3 losses in a row. Or do you think because of that, it means City are due a win and they're going to come to our ground and do something?
It's a really hard one to call. It's actually a really hard one to call, isn't it? Like, you usually have a good record against Man City, in it, and this is probably one of the times I actually really need you to win, because if you lot beat Man City and we beat Nottingham Forest, at least I know, even though it's not what I want, at the bare minimum, I'm second. I will know that. That will pretty much confirm to me. At the bare minimum, I'm second. Man City won't catch me. Nottingham Forest won't catch me. And I don't think Newcastle are going to be consistent enough, Chelsea consistent enough, or Bournemouth consistent enough to catch second. It's not going to happen. So I actually need you guys to win. Do I think you can win? Yeah, definitely. I swear some of your players will be back now. We've
pretty much got everyone back now. So the only players that we are missing is Richarlison, Solanke, Van de Ven, Romero.
Okay.
Everyone else is back.
The only thing I'll say is you doggy back?
Yeah, he started. He started on the weekend.
Okay. It could, yeah. Savinho versus Udogie. It could be peak.
Peak for you.
For you, Savinho. Let's not act like Udogie's strong point is his defensive ability, bro.
It is though. No, let's actually discuss that, because when you're doing that, yeah. At times Udogie, again, his fitness I think has caused some of the issues defensively, because you've seen him running back and he's getting blown out by a man like Jason Clive. But that's when he's looked poor. But when you've seen him in 1-to-1 games, we've actually just classed with doing 1v1 defending, like he did against Saka, wrapped up, locked up. That's what happens.
No, but Saka's different to Savinho. Like, Saka's not.
He is. He's not as techie. He's not as good.
He's not gonna. It's not the same, bro.
But at the same time, I think Udogie, what he does well is he does really good close defending, close touch. Going to be on your man. He's going to be touching him at his ankles, kicking at the legs. I think Udogie would have a good chance against Savio defending. But at the same time, I'm not going to write it off, because we did just see Doku. If he's on the Doku, he done 15 take-ons against Trent Alexander-Arnold, bro.
Doku versus Porro, it could be very long.
But if it's Doku versus man like Digger Jed Spence, yeah. Because but he got a goal on the weekend, by the way. Good goal. He played right back and he played left back. Started the game at right back. Played about 60 minutes there. If he starts at right back and you got him against Doku, wrapped up. Doku's going nowhere. And I'm telling you now, Jed Spence is actually, if they had an award for the most improved player, I think it'd be Jed Spence getting it for the Premier League this season. He's been so cold. No, in the Premier League, most improved player. Most improved player in the league. I think the only other one is Gravenberch.
How can he be most improved when he was never shit? It's just like you lot never gave him minutes.
Nah, I feel like it's most improved as in he's proven to us as well as the league that he is of this level. But I don't think that he was ever shit.
But we all knew he was good. It was just Ange that didn't play.
We knew he was good, but he played. I mean, I've seen him play. When I used to see his loans, I've watched him play like Rennes in Europa League and stuff, and he wasn't pulling up trees. He looked all right. I think it's just a few things that have fallen into places in the right environment amongst coaches and the team that he likes and he enjoys. And finally, like I said, he has got his opportunity and played consecutive games in a row. At the start of the season, he did have some struggles with injury, and you probably didn't see this, but the other day, Ange thinks he's smart, man. Honestly, like this is one bit where I actually start to I question Ange, and I say, bro, this guy waffles a lot. Yeah, he tried to flip.
Now he waffles a lot.
No, I've actually said this a few times. Obviously, people in my streams would know. You're not watching every stream, but I do a press conference breakdown stream. Some people will know that they've watched that, and I break down literally everything Ange just says on my thoughts on it. And I've said he is a bit of a waffler. I've started to realize this over probably the last 6 weeks or so. Yeah, but what he tried to run is he's now trying to run the narrative. And I mean, give me your thoughts on this. That he at the start of the season, he didn't use Jed Spence on purpose. He wanted to test Jed Spence to see if he had the right mental aptitude to, get over from coming from a different spell, coming from a different team. And he tested him, and he's seen that he wanted to get his head down, he wanted to work hard, and he had the right attitude. So then he gave him the opportunity, and then on the pitch, he'd started to prove from that way. What do you think of that? I do think it's probably a bit of BS, but what do you think is a rival?
I told you, man, he's an idiot from a long time. I told you he's an idiot from a long time. Like, it is what it is. Like, we all know he wasn't doing that. Like, you don't even comment. We know that's the way it was. That's very shameless of him to say. If I was Jed Spence, I'd be fighting him after the game. That's very disingenuous. Like, and then I guess from a Tottenham fan's perspective, yeah, like, you're probably now sitting there thinking, all them times we could have actually been playing Spence and probably have done better. You're telling me the reason why we wasn't playing him is because you was trying to test him. Fuck your test, man. Win me games. Do you know what I mean? Fuck your test, man. Win me games. You know what I mean? So, but hey, we'll never actually know for 100% if he meant it or not. Do you know what I mean? We'll never know 100%. We'll never actually know if it is telling the truth or not. But I think that's besides the point, innit? Like, the thing is, you've been going through a hard time, and then you're kind of turning the ship around. You know what I mean? And arguably, you're turning the ship. You know what? Yeah, arguably, you're turning the ship around at the right time as well. Because I don't know, if I was in your position, the way that I would be seeing it is every time I'm winning, I'm gaining points on Man United. That's Lidge the way I would see it. Like, because that's Lidge the only battle I can do. Wait, do you know, I haven't looked at the Premier League table today, but
I'll tell you the league. Man United are 16th, 15th, sorry. Level on points for 16th, but only ahead of West Ham by goal difference. Thank you, West Ham. Gonna get onto that, Just trying to save that one.
You're funny.
But
you know what? Yeah? It's not. Do you know what? Yeah, you're actually not that far off Brighton, who then people would say Brighton are not that far off fourth. So really and truly, you're not that far away.
No, technically we're not. That's why I said, like, once you get into the top half of the table, you're actually good. So Spurs went on like a 5-game winning streak now before, and then we go into like the last 6 games. And if we were on a 5-game win streak, I would suggest that we'd probably be within 2 or 3 points off of top 6. We could definitely put ourselves in a good position going into the end of the season. But what we need, and what we would have to do, is similar to what Chelsea done at the back end of last year. Do like 5 of their last 7 games or something, wins.
Just quickly though, you're actually in a very good position, yeah, because all of your next 4 games are 6-pointers, because you're playing people that are above you.
Above us, yeah.
So you're playing Man City, 6-pointer. You're playing Bournemouth, 6-pointer. You're playing Fulham.
Yeah,
I even go as far to say 9-pointer, because they're mad close to. At that point, it could be mad pivotal. And then Chelsea. If you win all of those games, you know what? I don't necessarily think you need to win the Chelsea game, though. I think you can draw the Chelsea game. But if you get like 10 out of 12 points from these next 4 games, your season's completely changed.
I wouldn't say completely changed. That's the thing. I wouldn't say completely changed.
Because after that, you got Southampton. You're winning that. Then you got Wolves, probably winning that. You probably draw to Nottingham Forest. I need you to beat Liverpool at Anfield.
You need us to get a lot of wins right now, and this is where the problem lies. Is Arsenal don't put themselves in a good position, so they always looking outside of their club to seek, happiness. They need someone else to bring them.
Man.
They need someone else to fill their void that they couldn't get done, because this is the problem. Look, we're going to move on to Arsenal in a second. We'll just wrap up on thoughts on Tottenham. As Hook said, regards to our season, it can be good. It could end up being a not terrible season. And if we finish in the top half, it won't be all is bad. But at the same time, we have 13 losses in 26 games. We've lost half of the games, and we've lost more than what we've won. So anything But I suppose finishing with more wins than losses is most important thing for me right now. We're 3 behind, so we need a 3-game swing on that front. But just with regards to the Ipswich game, it was good to see Jed Spensky on the score sheet. Good. Kulusevski, another goal. Bad man goal, by the way. Sort of like the signature Saka finish, or like the Robin thing when he cuts in off the right, bends it with the left foot, hits the post and in. So he done his thing yet again. And do you know what? One thing I'd actually do need to say, because a lot of people have been coming out and calling him out for his performances, and he was one of those players that probably didn't have a great game on the weekend. But he has been playing at 40 to 50% for the majority of the last couple of games. He's even admitted this and saying that he feels like he's playing too many games, or there is too many games. But ultimately, he's the only player that can play these games due to the amount of injuries we've had. So I expect to see him potentially dropped against Manchester City. No, Kulu.
Oh.
I expect to see Kulu dropped maybe in the midweek and maybe come off the bench. Just because he's been playing at 50%. Yeah, I think we might have to drop him and play him at second half. I would have dropped him ideally for this Ipswich game. I would have actually dropped him. I think that Maddison should have started, but again, I don't know where. I think the problem is I don't know where the other players are at with regards to their fitness. So it might be that he's still fitter than the likes of Maddison and so on, even though he's not that fit type of thing. But yeah, man, look, I think most people here probably didn't want to hear about Spurs, and probably myself, because when you beat these teams like Ipswich, there's not much to gloat on. And as we had this conversation on No Divide a few weeks ago. Hooks goes, "Oh, but when you beat Southampton in these small teams, you get gassed." No, I don't. I don't really need to speak about it too much. I'm not gonna do, what certain man do, start talking about the half spaces and the shape and all these things, because it's Ipswich, bro. Like, it doesn't matter what shape you have. You have a better team. Just fucking go out there and get the job done. For real, just go out there and get the job done. But moving on to the better side of things and what happened this weekend, because wait, I can't lie. Make sure you smash the like button, people. We should be on at least 50 likes at this moment in time. 248 people in the building. There shouldn't even be a question on 50 likes. We're aiming for 100 likes. That's the aim for every single show. But let's get this up to 50 likes instantly. But we're going to go on to the Arsenal stuff now. Arsenal got hammered. Physically, literally, you guys got hammered, yet again, they ruin your season, because let's have it right. They beat you last year at the Emirates. Clean sheet settings. And you can say, oh, they didn't ruin our season because it was early in the year, but ultimately, it was the loss that prevented you from winning the title.
Do you know what's crazy? Do you know
what's season? Wait,
do you know what's crazy? Yeah,
go on.
Do you know what's crazy? Yeah, it's actually Aston Villa and West Ham again,
and Fulham. Wait, throw Fulham in there as well.
And Fulham.
Yeah, and wait. I don't know if you saw this stat. Yeah, in the last 20, this is for everyone that's watching. You may have heard this or you didn't know or not. Last 20 games, Arsenal played against Villa, Fulham, West Ham, and Newcastle. 4 wins.
It's crazy.
4 wins, 11 defeats. Oh my!
It's crazy. It's actually crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
So all this talk about beating the top 6 teams, Hooks, when it comes down to it, your biggest problem is the smaller teams. We did the
Missy Elliott thing, man. We flip and reversed it, man. Because before we was getting fist up by the big 6 teams, and we was dominating the smaller teams, and now we deal with the bigger teams, light work, and we have trouble with the smaller teams. But you know what? Yeah. Do you know what it is? Yeah. And I'm gonna drop a short on this after the stream. Yeah. It's not a title race. It's a title marathon.
Oh. I hear it. My man's doing up Mo Farah settings. Go on, tell us how Mo Farah's going to come back. Yeah.
It's a title marathon, innit? And we won't know until the line has been crossed where it's gonna go. There's still many meters to go.
Are you saying it's the turtle in the hair? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, tortoise in the hair. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Liverpool are blitzing, thinking, yeah, we're gonna get there, moving bare fast. We're just, plodding along, doing our slow thing. We know where the finish line is. Plodding along, yeah. The hair's out in front, boasting, all them things there. Just waiting on the hair to break his ankle. That's all I'm waiting for. And then we're just gonna, plodding along, doon. You get it? And get past the finish line, man. Because look, I can't be reactionary. That's why I'm choosing not to be reactionary in it. I see a lot of Arsenal fans over the interwebs being reactionary, yeah, and I'm choosing to not be reactionary. I'm sticking to my guns, and my guns are by the time we get to when Liverpool start their run of Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, back to back to back to back. As long as it's single digit difference by then, we still have a chance. So what we need to do is we need to so completely no shame at all. I predicted before the West Ham game, I thought we was gonna draw to Forest. Forest is where I saw us dropping points. But because we lost to West Ham, we have to beat Nottingham Forest now. We have to win that game. That game, we have to win. We now also have to beat Man United. Like, we have to beat them away. Yeah? And we have to beat Chelsea at home. Chelsea's our game in hand. If we can go on a 3-game back-to-back wins of those 3 games, then... yeah, this West Ham game's annoying, but now it's looking like a little blip in the road. And then we'll see how it impacts us later.
Can we address something, Hooks, though? Because you just said, yeah, this West Ham game is just a little blip in the road. Let's just take it back a second. Let's just take it back a second, though. Just a little bit, 2 steps back. Because I remember a certain conversation we had on the Talk Man Thursday. Big up to Dan Potts, yeah?
Big him up.
And I remember what I told you. I was like, don't count your, what is it? What's the saying? You don't count your ducks before they come home. Whatever, yeah? Before the chickens, whatever, yeah? Before the eggs hatch and all this rubbish. Yeah. And when Liverpool had dropped their points, you already started calculating how you guys were coming back in the league. Oh, when Liverpool dropped points against Everton, and because they dropped points against Aston Villa, then they come up against City. If they drop points against City, and when we beat, and you kept going, not if, when we beat West Ham, and then we go to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I've accepted we might drop points against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
but,
but now we have to win.
You've now lost against, you didn't drop points. You lost against West Ham, whilst Liverpool picked up.
So now we have to win. Yeah, so now we have to win.
Liverpool won. Yeah. So I know you're saying now you have to win, but I'm trying to take it back to
You're making it long. You're making it long. Are Liverpool winning the remainder of their games?
Not every single.
All of them. All of them. And winning the remainder of their games. All of them.
No, but I like to do the long story because we like to get all the bits of information.
Yeah, but the thing is,
we can go around the houses.
No, but you know what I find weird? Yeah, just on a quick thing, yeah. I actually started by saying I'm choosing to not be reactionary.
I know. I get you're not trying to be reactionary.
Like,
I'm also trying to get. I'm trying to get down.
I can lose my mind now. Easily.
I'm not trying to get you to lose your mind. I'm trying to get to your thought process.
People think I'm deluded. Like, it's not just in that chat, innit? I'm seeing it like whenever when I talk, people like deluded, and it's like people want me to just blow up and be reactionary. But then if I blow up and be reactionary, but then we get to a position where we can win it, and then I'm like, I think we can win it, People are going to be like, sandals, flip-flop. Sandals, flip-flop. So you can't win.
Do you know? All right. You don't want to do the reactionary thing. Let's talk about the game, because I actually did see someone comment say, you guys just not speaking about the game. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. Yeah.
There's nothing to not yet on a real.
No. Because wait. It's the reason why I want to talk about the game is because Drew makes a very good point. Drew, big up to you. She makes a good point. She wants to know about Forest and who your goal scorer is going to be. But I want to take it back to this game because the reason why Hooks is because, again, please let me. Because we done a prediction show on Friday. And the one thing I've always asked you, and I remember I asked you and D this when we was on a show. I've asked you both separately and when we've been on a show together, that why are you guys convinced that you would beat these teams? You guys can go on a run if your attack, that's the point I was like, your attack has shown to be frail going back to December, going back to November. Your attack has not been good. It's been rubbish. You couldn't score goals against Everton. You couldn't score goals against Fulham, and then you go against West Ham and you look horrible in the front line.
You say this, but we're like the third top goal scorer. We're only not high goal scorers. You're only above us. You're only above us because we didn't score against West Ham.
Okay, and you're only above us because what? You're not above us. So what? You're only close to us because you've scored about 15 set pieces. You're only close to us because you've scored loads of penalties and corners. Have some shame, have some decorum, and let's start to acknowledge.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
no, we haven't.
Because you've scored more set pieces than us. If you didn't have corner goals, you'd be like 13 goals behind. You scored like 12 goals from corners this season. Go get the stats up. Tottenham aren't set piece specialists like you, bro. We create goals. We score goals in open play.
Set piece goals are still goals, by the way.
Okay, I said set piece specialists. You guys are. We aren't. That's where most of your goals come from. And this is where it gets. This is where it again. Like, I don't like using delusion and all these, buzzwords and stuff. But ultimately, I need to ask: are you deluded to the fact that your attack isn't going to get you through a lot of these games and they're not performing? Have you seen a solution that Arteta hasn't? Because obviously he
you know what's crazy, yeah? Do you know what's crazy, yeah? We are actually currently overperforming our XG.
Okay, even better. All right, great. I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. Can I ask you a question on it? Because I'm so glad you said that.
Go for it.
Good point. So you say you're overperforming your XG. So then that would mean that you're not creating a lot of high goal scoring opportunities. High what's the word? High probability, high probable chances, yeah? Like clear cut opportunities.
So you say that?
No. The XG is showing that.
You say that, but Saka is leading big chances created in the Premier League.
Okay, that's fine. He hasn't played for 3 months, so that
exactly, and he's still leading it.
All right. So what does that show? That you've not created a lot of big chances since he's been out. So what that also shows is that Martin Odegaard isn't doing his job, and what that also shows is your team is not fluent. Your team's not.
But you don't understand my point.
Let me finish my point, please. Your team doesn't speak fluent goals. They don't speak fluent attack. There's nothing fluid about it. And I want you to address the fact that Moreno started up top. Was that a good decision or not?
Yeah, I think it was a good decision.
Okay. So when you score no goals and your attack looks bad and he played 90 minutes and he played majority of the time up front, then how is that still a good decision? Please explain.
Why is it? Wait. Can I ask you a question? How many times, yeah, have other teams been questioned to this level when they don't score a goal?
This is the Hooks and North and Jords show. I don't care about other teams. We're talking about Tottenham and Arsenal.
I need to know how many. Why is it focus when Arsenal don't do things are laser focus? Oh, we must hyper.
Did you not know we done a 26 minute Tottenham segment? We're
no. You know what I'm saying? When Arsenal don't score a goal in a game, look at portion, the world's ending. Oh my God, this all we must talk about. Oh, and I just get bare questions around it. When I'm sorry, I've been watching football for like 30 years. I've seen us have Thierry Henry and Bergkamp in the blood clot team, and we haven't scored a goal.
Okay.
So why is it something that
you just don't want to answer? I'd love if you answer my question.
Again. You're chatting to the brother that scored 51 goals in the Premier League.
I've scored 53, so I know better than you. I'm more fluid in goals. Yeah.
Okay. So clearly, scoring more goals isn't the solution here. Because, by the way,
so defensively,
where are you in the table? Where are you in the table?
Wait. So
where
are your problems then?
Wait, where are you?
Don't deflect. No. We spoke about Tottenham. We're now speaking about Arsenal.
About scoring goals. So I'm saying
we're speaking about Arsenal.
No. You wanted to talk
speaking about Arsenal.
No, but you wanted to talk about scoring goals.
Please.
Did you not want to talk about scoring goals?
No. Again.
Did you not want to talk?
The people have asked.
But did you not bring up the point about
the game, and they've asked for us to talk ball? I saw the comment last week's show.
But did you? Did you not talk about? Did you not ask me about scoring goals?
I asked you about a specific question. Actually, I did ask you a very specific question. I've asked you a very specific question.
Okay,
it seems like you don't want to.
I'm here to talk ball, and you want to troll, so it's fine. Okay, cool.
No, I asked you a specific. It wasn't trolling. I asked you a specific question. You haven't asked it. You know, I'm sure you know, you host shows. You're a very good host. When you do About the Fan, you ask questions and people answer. I'm asking you a question, and you're asking me one back. That's not sort of how it goes. You know, when someone asks you a question, you're supposed to answer, and then you can.
No, that's exactly how conversations go.
No, but you answer a question first. You don't just ask a question straight back. So let's go back to it. Moreno, was it a good decision to start up top? You said yes.
Yes.
And I said okay. If he played majority of the minutes and you guys didn't create that many opportunities. The ones you did create nothing happened with you. You didn't score any goals.
I don't even think he had a shot. I don't even think he had a shot in the game. So that's not.
So that means.
Moreno problem. That's not Moreno.
What is the problem then? What is the problem?
That's an overall play problem. That's a creation problem. That's a not being able to break down West Ham problem. That's not a Moreno playing up top problem. That's a everybody else problem.
I'm so glad you said this because again, you just keep. Do you know what's funny? You've actually stole a lot of my lyrics. I was watching your stream earlier, yeah, and you was talking about how it was bad squad building when you guys didn't plan for these injuries. It was bad squad building that you didn't bring in certain players in certain positions. But when I told you this a few weeks ago, you sat there and you said, "Oh no, but how can you plan for these things? It's not bad squad building."
No, I didn't say about the injuries. I didn't say about. I wasn't referencing the injuries.
When you said it's bad squad building, yeah, because everyone in the chat was talking about how
in terms of
injuries now and you've got no players.
I mean in terms of when you look at. So if you look at all positions across
overall squad
Arsenal,
quality, yeah,
and you look at the first player, second player, third player. When you look at the squad building and how those players play and the way that we want to play, I was speaking in reference to the system. In reference to the system is poor squad building. It has nothing to do with it. People get injuries all the time.
It does have to do with the players though, because
injuries happen all the time.
Yeah, injuries happen all the time. But again, a lot of it's still poor squad building because you haven't covered for those potential injuries. You didn't cover for those. You don't have two good strikers. You don't have two good right wingers. You don't have two good left wingers.
You cannot cover for the injuries Arsenal have. You cannot cover.
You definitely can.
You cannot cover. Okay, Arsenal have their starting right winger out. They have.
I'm here to tell you, we don't care. We don't care. We don't need to go for injuries.
For their season, they had their captain.
We don't care about injuries.
Who's also their most creative player. You have Jesus out, who's their backup striker. You have your starting. So not only is my starting striker out, my backup striker is out. So the person who is next in line when your first team striker gets injured,
I'm sorry, Hooks,
well.
Bro.
My starting left winger is out injured. No, I'm not deflecting. You can't.
You're deflecting and making excuses, bro.
No, you.
This whole stream, you've been deflecting and making excuses for your team.
You can. I'm not making excuses.
I was gonna get answers out of you today.
I'm not making excuses.
Why?
Oh, so you're trolling me now. You're actually
no, you are. How's it not an excuse? Because you're sitting again. You're dressing injuries.
Where's my pen?
Bro, you've had injuries.
Where
I've had
is my pen, bro?
I've had more injuries than you. I've had more injuries than you.
I don't think you.
I've not sat and cried about it.
I'm not crying, bro. I'm stating a fact.
Whether it being a fact or not is true, it's still you crying about it.
What's Arsenal meant to do? Are we meant to have 5 left wingers, 4 strikers, 5 right wingers? What are Arsenal meant to do?
Well, you could have had 3 strikers.
No, stop stupid.
You could have 3 strikers. You actually, to be fair, you could have 2. You don't have. Furthermore, you don't have a striker. You have players that can play that position. You haven't got a striker.
Whenever people talk about Arsenal, they lose brain cells.
Have you got a striker?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Whether you think he's a striker or not, our manager has decided that we have 2 people that fulfill the role.
You said before when I've asked you if Kai Havertz is a striker, you said no, he's not. He's an 8. He's just been used.
I don't think that he is a striker.
I'm talking about what you think. I don't care about.
What are you doing? Where has he played for Arsenal the last 30 games?
I don't care about Mikel Arteta.
Where has he played for the last 30 odd games?
You've said he's not a striker, bro. You've come on stream and said don't compare him to strikers. He's not a striker because of your opinion. But then you're saying, I know Arteta's opinion. He plays striker. Stop doing bro. This what I'd talk about Hooks. Hooks will just want to argue. He'll create points to argue so we can go off the fact that we're not going to focus on Arsenal losing against West Ham. You lost against the 16th worst team in the league, bro.
Spoiler alert. The worst team in the league is 20th. That's the first
16th.
Spoiler alert.
I said you lost against 16th worst team in the league. So spoiler alert, you didn't listen.
Okay.
I said 16th.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, you need to listen.
They're still a good team. Yeah. Yeah,
well, they're not. They're 16.
Spoiler alert! I've already addressed that we lost the game. And the thing is,
we've been trying to again. I wanted to break down what actually happened.
You moved the conversation.
I'm trying to break. No. I've tried to break it down by asking questions.
You've deflected. Riddle me this. Why ask me a question about squad building, and then when I address the question, you say, "Oh, you're making excuses. I want to talk about the game." Don't ask me about squad building.
Because
ask me about the game.
I've asked you about the game, and you keep deflecting onto new points. I asked you and said, "Why did you start Marino and striker?" And you said, "Oh, he didn't really have a shot. He didn't really." I said, "Okay, so your attack wasn't fluid." And then you said, "Oh, yeah, it wasn't." But I at the start of my very first question, bro, I said you didn't score against Fulham 3 months ago. You didn't score against Everton. I pointed out at that point that your attack isn't fluid. And all week, whenever me, you, and D have been on shows, I said, "How are you going to beat Everton? How are you going to beat Forest? How are you going to go on this run of games that you said when your attack is not good?" But you've not addressed it.
Cool. So my attack's not fluid, but I scored 2 goals against Leicester. My attack's not fluid, but only 3 games
in the last 10 minutes.
Only 3 games ago, I scored 5 goals against Manchester City. My attack's not fluid, but I scored 2 goals against Aston Villa. My attack's not fluid, but I scored 2 goals.
You drew the game against Villa, bro.
My attack's not fluid, but I scored 3 goals against Brentford. My attack's not fluid, but I scored 5 against Crystal Palace. Like, what are we doing? Like, you can build a narrative. You can do this game by game. Build a narrative. It's fine, innit? Yeah, it's fine. Man, want to go back to, you didn't score.
You went back to 4 months. You went back to 4 months to go talk about Crystal Palace.
But by the way,
you went back 4 months to go talk about Crystal Palace.
You went back to the Fulham game, which is before that, and you lied.
No, it's not.
You said
no, it's not.
Score. You said we didn't score. We did score. Hold that.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. The Fulham game happened in December. It happened in December.
Yeah, the 8th, and the Crystal Palace game happened on the 21st. How about that? Do math.
Okay. So you went back 3 months to go talk about games. You scored 5 goals, but I've spoken about games when I identified that your attack was an issue. I'm speaking about games. I'm speaking about games. I'm speaking about it's not trolling, bro. It's facts. You call everything trolling when it's facts.
I don't care.
You don't care. You don't care because it's facts.
You told me how am I going back for you? You went 3 months back for the Fulham game. How dare you? How dare you?
What bro? I said that the Fulham game was the first game we identified your attack is shit, bro. That's the game where we identified your attack is not fluid. And I said we told you.
You said that we didn't score, but we did.
You didn't.
You lied.
Play.
You lied.
You didn't play well.
You said we didn't score.
You didn't score against Everton. They was one of the worst teams in the league at that point. Sean Dyche, their manager, got sacked a few games after they played.
Yeah.
And then you were one of the only teams in the league under Sean Dyche to not.
But we know the Arsenal can't break down low blocks. But we know the Arsenal struggle breaking down low blocks. Hence why we always bad up teams when they don't do low block. I don't understand.
And so why did you sit here? And then why did you sit here and gas up last week? You gassed up. Oh, it's a Arteta masterclass because he put Moreno in strike.
But a lot of teams struggle with that. When we played low block against you,
Moreno in strike.
When we played low block against wait.
Big up to Arteta for masterclass decision.
How dare you?
What are we doing here?
Ever dare talk to me about struggling and attacks not being fluid, scoring goals.
I've scored more goals than you in the Premier League.
When I went to your ground and played low block,
5 goals. We do it every other week.
When I went to your ground and played low block and you couldn't break me down and you didn't score, how dare you chat to me?
Oh, deflection. How dare you? Let's talk about a title race, bro. You said that Tottenham's selfish. You don't care about Tottenham. But now you're sitting here trying to talk about a Tottenham game. Let's talk about West Ham that happened this weekend, bro.
What, yeah? Do you know Jords? Do you know I've realized, yeah? So you asked me about squad building and injuries. Then when I started talking about,
I didn't ask you about injuries. Did not ask you about injuries. Correct me.
You said, and I quote, when I used to tell you about your squad building because of injuries, and now you want to.
I didn't ask you about injuries. I simply highlighted that your squad building was bad. It was a statement. It wasn't a question. It was a statement.
Because of injuries. It
was a statement. I never asked you a question. I made a statement.
You can go back. Okay. You made a statement. You said because of injuries.
Okay.
Your squad building is poor, which means you brought up injuries and squad building. Yeah. I start talking about injuries and squad building. oh, why are you making excuses and cutting me off at every moment so I can't actually finish my point? I still haven't.
No one cares about that. We don't care about that.
Finished my point.
I'm here to tell you we don't care.
And then you said, and I quote, oh, you didn't score against Fulham. Or you didn't score a goal against Fulham. And then when I go back and say, oh, but we scored 5 goals here against Palace, you said, oh, why are you going back 3 months when you went back further than me?
It's funny because you're not listening to what I'm actually saying. You're deflection king, Hooks. You're actually a deflection king. All you do is deflect questions. You don't actually answer questions. Look at his smile. He knows what he's doing right now. He's doing everything not to answer the questions.
Why are you not letting me get to the full stop?
Because you're doing everything not to answer any question that I pose to you.
Jords, do you know what? Yeah, it's cool because I'm going through this conversation, yeah. And it's like at points you want me to talk about something, and then when I talk about it, you go, "No, I'll talk about the game." But then it's like you directed the conversation away from the game.
I've been trying to talk about the game for 20 minutes. It's fine.
Do you know what I've realized? You don't want this show to be the North Divide. You don't want this show to be a tag team. You want this show to be I speak and Hooks must listen and only respond to what I ask. So that's cool. That's fine.
And you know what? Hooks is just waffling. He's doing this thing that he does.
The North dictatorship. Let's go.
Yeah. This is typical.
Only talk about what you want to
talk
about.
This is typical Hooks, people.
What are we talking about, George?
You see, the funniest thing is, yeah, if Arsenal had won, he would come here and he would divert the conversation to talk about Spurs. He would talk about how Spurs didn't win or how Spurs are 12th and how Spurs are so far behind them. But now Arsenal have lost. He wants to talk about everything but the title race. Everything but the West Ham game. I asked you simply for what I made a statement. I said you've been copying and you've been stealing my flow with regards to the squad building stuff. Because I asked you a question, made a statement. Two, when I spoke about your attack and I spoke about the problems, I said back in the Fulham and Everton game, those were the first games that I recognized that your attack had a big issue.
Didn't score.
And then
you didn't score.
All right, cool. Point scored. Well done. I've scored like 10 on you anyway, so it don't really matter. Wow.
No, you haven't.
You've conceded all over the place. Clean sheet. It's all good. I don't need clean sheet. Spurs concede.
I've actually conceded less goals.
I said that you and D, Fam's on TV, D. He should be in here right now.
About D?
No, I said you and him. You and him. Yes, because I'm addressed. I know he'll be.
About the West Ham game.
And I said both of you going into the West Ham game. I said both of you are very confident in getting a win. And I asked you prior to it, how is your attack going to get this done? You said, West Ham don't really defend good. I just think that we're at home. We're going to get the job done. You said it was going to be an easy game. You said it literally said it was going to be an easy game. It definitely wasn't.
I spoiler alert. Whoa, it's magic.
Hooks get something wrong. Only human. We've heard we all know the lyrics.
Hooks
can we actually get
crazy.
Hooks put on his manager scalp, Arteta, because I know you glaze with him. I know you have private messages with Arteta. I just need to know.
I wish. I
need to know.
These are what he needs to do. I wish.
What is yes, okay. Perfect. Look, it's probably decalling him now. Perfect time, so you can hide from the question. Go on, do your thing. Yeah, so as people can see, running and hiding from the questions, I just simply want to know.
You're right.
Yeah. I simply want to know, people. And tell me if I'm wrong for asking this. Please tell me if I'm wrong for asking this. I want to know what happened at the weekend. Why did they leave? Why did they lose? How can you lose to 16th place West Ham? How has West Ham ruined your season yet again? I just want those questions answered. Because I was watching him on a show earlier. It's going, Mohamed Kudus could be better than Bukayo Saka. Okay. So then why did you think you were going to beat them? Because Mohamed Kudus, Jared Bowen, and Somerville is a better attack than what you have at the moment. Yeah, let's have it right. Jared Bowen's better than any striker they got in their team. If Mohamed Kudus is a better pure footballer than Saka, and they ain't even got Saka, they should have known their attack is better than theirs, and that their attack was going to be more dangerous. Why did you not know this? Or are you trying to just do the hindsight thing and act like, I didn't know that Kudus was this good? Big up to you, Mike's man. I hope you get Make sure Hooks comes on your channel for a review, because he got on to me all year for doing a review for the Arsenal game, a preview, and not doing a review. Mikes, make sure he gets on your channel, if he hasn't already, to do that review, because he needs to answer for his crimes. Maybe he'll answer your questions. I know with a Spurs fan, and it's with me in particular, because I call him out on a lot of shows, because Hooks is my boy, I'm always going to get on to him, and I know what he says. Pretty much everything that whenever we're on stream, I'm hearing what he's saying. I'm watching his streams. Maybe because it's me, he doesn't want to answer the question. But you can, Mike's, I need to see someone get the answers out of him, because, bro, he's doing an all-timer performance right now.
I've answered every single question.
Hooks performance.
Wait, is this what you do? The gal thing when I'm not here, you're bare chatting rubbish, bro. Allow it. I've answered every question, bro. You may not like the answer.
What I said was that I hope. Are you going to go on Mike's show? Are you going to go on Mike's channel for a review? That's what I was actually asking. Oh, yeah.
Depends. Depends on the date and the time. Depends on the date and the time, bro.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, because we all remember at the start of the season when you were getting on to me for not doing a review after doing a preview, and so I was hoping you keep the same energy.
No, because there's a difference. There's a big difference, because
is there?
You told me prior to the game we're doing the preview and the review.
Did we put in a date and time for a review?
And then you bottled the
Did
review.
We do a date and time for a review?
That's the difference.
You just asked for a date and time. Did I give you a date and time?
That's the difference.
Did I give you a date and time?
When Mike shouted me, and I got the message, Mike said, "Hey, run a match preview, West Ham Arsenal?" I said, "Yeah, of course, bro."
He's available to run a review too now. He'll make some time today for you, my guy, Mike. 100%. Just make sure you message him.
Will I?
Yeah, you will. There you will. Because if you won, you would have. If you won, you would have. You know what I mean? Maybe you should do it on your channel. It might be more entertaining to watch on your channel. Arsenal lose to West Ham. Cry some tears. Give some. He'll get to host his own shows, and then he won't be able to answer all these questions. Hard questions.
You forget, that. You forget that we're boys,
Yeah.
You forget, because what you think, just because you decide, my team's not doing nothing now, so I'm gonna take a break from April on YouTube. You think that saves you from me?
Who's taking a break? That'll be you. You know what, people? Make sure when Hooks,
you finish above me. Make sure you win something.
Is this what we're doing now?
Make sure, yeah. Make sure. Yeah?
I got it out of him. This is his real goal, people. This is his true goal. He said it. He said he's got bigger fish to fry, but now he's talking about Spurs finishing above him.
I never said bigger fish to fry. I never said bigger fish to fry.
Arsenal.
Bro, why are you misquoting me? I'm not HTV, bro.
It's right.
I never said bigger fish to fry. Make sure you win something and I don't, and make sure you finish above me.
All right.
Because the way that you're talking, because you're talking with a bass in your voice.
This is all they have. That's it. This is all they have. This is all that Arsenal have. But look.
Big up SDFC Benny though.
Yeah, big up though.
But by the way, I just need to know, just so I can prepare in it, going forward, is every North Divide going to be the North Dictatorship, and I'm only allowed to speak when spoken to?
This is rubbish. You've actually been allowed to speak. You've been allowed to speak. I'm just asking you questions. I would like to know if you're actually going to answer questions on the show. Because I remember last time we were together, I asked you, I said, bro,
I've answered every question.
And
you asked me, do you have was it a bad decision?
I asked you to break down the game. You didn't break down the game. I did actually ask you to break down the game.
Was it a good decision to put Marino up top? I said, yes. You said, but don't you have attacking problems? I said, no, I don't think it's an attacking problem. I think it's a creation problem. Moreno didn't have any shots. So it can't be a Moreno up top problem. It has to be a creation problem. So then you went on.
So is it a midfield problem then? A creation problem of midfield or attack? That doesn't. You're not actually saying. You're saying stuff without saying anything, and this is your problem, Hooks. You say a lot without saying anything because you're saying it's a creation problem. Okay, is that a creation? Does a creation run through the attack, or is it the midfield? Where are you pointing the problem to be?
Because obviously because you said you watched my stream earlier, so you would have known.
I didn't watch all of it. I saw bits.
This is part of the reason why I said there's a squad building problem because currently we're down to 2 wingers. Yeah. One of those wingers, well, actually, no, both of those wingers are more about scoring than creating. Trossard, more about scoring. Ranieri, more about scoring. They're not really creators, or thus far haven't proven themselves to be creators. They don't create high volumes of chances. So therefore, when you have a player up top who is there to hold up the ball, link up the play, and bring others in, if he's not being involved in the play, he can't do that for the 2 people that are meant to score you goals. So therefore, we're left with Declan Rice, who isn't a creator, or thus far hasn't proven to be a creator outside of dead ball situations. And you have Ødegaard, who is Arsenal's prime creator, who is playing shit at the moment and hasn't really created anything. So yes, it is a creation problem, and this is the squad building problem. But obviously, every time I try to talk and explain these things, I don't say the exact thing that you want me to say. What deflecting?
No, you didn't actually. I just wanted you to go through that sequence where you actually started to call out some of your players. You didn't go through that sequence.
We could have done this 20 minutes ago.
Right. You just wanted to go to give up excuses about how we have injuries and stuff. Again, I don't care about your injuries because when I had injuries, I wasn't allowed to talk about it. I wasn't allowed to talk about it.
I gave no excuses.
I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to talk about Romero and Van der Ven. I'm not allowed to do it. I'm not allowed to do it.
Wait, I've never actually.
When Tottenham have scored the second most amount of goals in the league, and we've shipped out, our biggest problem has been defense. But we've been missing. What's the biggest problem? Oh, we have no Romero Van der Ven. I'm not allowed to sit here and just point out, oh, why are we so bad defensively? Oh, you're
bad defensively even when they are there.
Well, see, look, now you're doing this, but you're bad attackingly even when they are there because they didn't win you the league before, did they?
What? No, I'm talking about this season.
Oh, no, but I'm talking about this season in general.
I'm not talking about in general. So if you want to do it in general, that's fine. But I'm talking about this season. This season, your team has shown that regardless of whoever you have playing, you're poor defensively.
Oh, if you feel so, if you feel that, because if you actually look at the stats, if you look at the stats of the first 10 games, that wouldn't be true. Tottenham actually had. We started off the first 10 games not conceding that many goals. Actually.
Brother, why are you so insecure and defensive, bro?
Go get the stats up.
Why are you so? I don't get it, bro.
Go get the stats up.
I thought you would be happy after winning 4-1, but it seems like you're rattled, bro. Why are you rattled?
This is crazy, though. People, look, we are going to head out in literally a moment's time, but before we do head out, let's try and run those likes up, get them up to 169. Don't even like the number. We need to get on to, let's get these likes up ASAP. 150 people in the building.
Can I have a moment of, just a moment of peace? No cutting me off every 2 seconds. Just a moment of peace, yeah.
You had a moment of peace just then, talking about.
I just need a moment of peace. You need a moment of peace, yeah. So you're my bro, and I rate you highly, yeah. But when we have these footballing conversations, yeah, you need to remember that we're talking football, innit? So I would like for you to refrain from the YouTube football, internet football world of discussion, innit? Because,
bro,
I'm not the one that told you.
I think you need to reflect.
Hey, moment of peace. I'm not the one that told you, yeah, that you can't talk about your injuries. I'm not that guy. Maybe you was on Footy Judge Mo, or maybe you was on the Terrace, or maybe you was on Never a Foul, and somebody.
I've been on many shows with you actually, and you have said,
never told you.
Don't complain about injury.
I find me the clip. Until then,
we've been on many shows.
Now, when we talk football, yeah, just in general, human to human, we have to acknowledge all the factors within our club. Yeah, we have to. And it's not new Arsenal merch. Fraud. As you can see, you can even search it up. Look, 424. Yeah, you can see it there. Exclusive collab came out about 2-3 years ago. LA fashion company. So hold that. Yeah, how about that? So we have to bring in all facets of the club. If you choose to not want to have those conversations, then that's on you, bro. But I'm telling you,
I'm not here to talk about injuries.
It's like if I go to you, Romero and Van der Ven are out. Why don't you have Romero and Van der Ven number 2 or number 3? because you don't build squads that way. That's not how squads are built.
I don't know, bro. The point here regarding the injuries is Romero and Van der Ven out. What do you do as a team? You plan for that potentially being the case with Van der Ven especially, and that he gets injured, and you bring in another centre back to cover that. And so when the team doesn't look good without them, you go, okay, that's poor squad planning. Should have planned for it better. That's what you do. I have that conversation, and I've tried to have that conversation with you. What you think is that football is just linear, and that people would just have to go, oh, we have injuries, you can't plan for it, so we can't. That's
no one has
one way of thinking.
Nobody has that.
I do though. No, because Tottenham fans did have that. We did have that. We looked and said, oh, you got an injury-prone player, you cover for an injury-prone player.
No, I'm saying no one in football. Not even Man City, I don't know, maybe Man City and potentially Real Madrid, but even Real Madrid across their whole squad, even they don't have this.
You might not cover for every position.
They don't have like for like players in every position.
If you know that you've got a position where you're potentially weak on, or you have an injury-prone player, you do cover for that. And you've even said in the summer you needed a striker. So that is poor squad planning, because you identified you needed another attacker. And you also said, okay, but some of them are. Gabriel Jesus is injury-prone, right? He's your only recognized striker. Okay, but he's your only recognized striker. You've said yourself that Havertz is not a striker. You recognize him as a midfielder, but he's covering.
I recognize him as a shadow striker.
So
I recognize him as a shadow striker.
I'm saying that Arsenal haven't planned well, because we've done about 20 streams in the summer where you said we either need a left winger or a striker. So you knew that in the front line you was weak. You knew that you hadn't planned for the season well, especially when you signed Sterling. Yeah, you said last week that you got a bit gassed up. You saw him come out of the car, two step, look decent in training. You were like, rah, the aura had sold me a dream. Cool, whatever, calm. But you've now recognized Sterling's not good enough, so you know that you didn't do enough in the summer transfer window to plan for your attack being this bad, right?
Our attack isn't bad. It's not about.
You've definitely not got defensive issues though. You can't sit there and act like defensively your problem.
Being bad. It's about I don't think you quite understand.
I understand the point. We're seeing it two different ways. You keep saying we don't understand. I definitely understand.
Our first team left winger is injured. Our first team striker and our second string striker is injured. Regardless of whether you think
we have the exact same thing,
or if I think Havertz is a striker or not, Arsenal and Arteta play him as a striker, and he's been playing there. He's been playing there for. I'm not doing the comparison with your club because I don't care about your club. I'm talking about the scenario that my club is in, and we have not only our starting right winger, our best player in our team injured. So all of my first team options are injured. I now have a front three where only two of them are attackers. One of them is 17 and the other one is a centre mid, bro. That is not normal.
What's your point? You still said, even after knowing all that information, you still said you're better, you're good enough. You still said after all of that you were good enough to beat West Ham, you're good enough to go win the league, and you're good enough. You said Anfield 89 will repeat. You still said that you had belief.
We're going roundabouts. You don't actually care about the point. You just want to be right. So
I care about your point. I'm simply getting to the point that even with all of that said, you still had belief.
We lost. It's lost. Cool.
No, because bro, how did with all of that?
We lost.
You want to hyper focus on the injuries. I generally have to go in like a minute, but you want to hyper focus on the injuries, but then you still had the confidence you can go win the Champions League. You said last week.
By that time, Saka will be back.
Don't say what. You said last week you could still get it done. You knew about all the injuries on Thursday.
Saka Martinelli coming back. By that time, Saka Martinelli back. What now?
You need to get to those games.
See how my problem is solved.
You need to get to those games. You need to make it to those games. So if you know that without it, so you can, bro, you're still playing PSV. Basically, you just writ off PSV going, we can do that. Just like you've done against West Ham. You writ them off.
PSV. I'm not writing them off, but I think we can knock them out. The second leg is at the Emirates. To me, that's very favourable for us. As long as we don't lose by like some crazy amount at their stadium, I'm confident in us being able to wrap up the tie in our ground. Why wouldn't I? I think everybody who has the second tie at their home ground will be confident.
Bro, I just seriously don't get where your head's at. We're gonna have to do another stream. We're definitely gonna be doing another stream sometime, if not today, tomorrow. The prediction show, people. When are you gonna? We're gonna try to set up. It'll probably be tomorrow morning, if not Wednesday morning or something. So people look out for the Premier League predictions with Hooks and the Village on Halftime Hooks. His channel is in the name of the video. It's in the description of this video. So make sure if you want to go show Hooks some love. And as he said, he's close to 4.1. I think he's like 8 away. There was 9 at the start of the stream. I saw a few people said they subbed. So look, we can definitely get him up to 4.1. Make sure if you haven't already, 130 people in the building. If you ain't subscribed, go subscribe to this shameless guy. If you want to hear more, if you actually want to hear him answer questions, he might do it when he's on a stream or by himself. But obviously, when it's coming from a Spurs fan, when he comes from a Spurs fan, he doesn't like to answer questions. And that's it. He's just a misinterpreter. He's not shameless. He's just misinterpreted.
Misconception. No, man, you man spread lies about me, but I hear it. It's cool.
No one spreads lies. I don't think anyone spread lies about you. I think that you generally put yourself in this position and you say things and then you backtrack and say, oh, but I didn't actually say this. I said this. I didn't actually say this. I said this. But what you did say was, oh,
it's not my fault.
Arsenal are not losing on my birthday. That's what you did say.
Yeah, but we did. We did. I can't change. You have to move on. I can't change. You have to move on.
Why? I'm only human after all. All of that, yeah?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. 100%.
All right, wait. Before you head out, can we actually get your midweek prediction?
For what? For
first. Away from home. We just see that they got spiffed up by Newcastle, by the way.
I would like to think, we could. I like to think we could nick it like a 2-1 or a 1-0, but I think as it stands right now, I think it's probably going to be a draw. Probably a draw.
Okay. Like Husam said here, this is the same PSV that beat Juventus, by the way. But
who cares, man?
He don't care. He don't care. He thinks he's going to draw against Nottingham Forest, and
I've beaten teams in the Champions League.
Been there, done it. All right, look. And you know what? Yeah, you heard it there. Arsenal dropping points again midweek. It's going to be an interesting
game. Go on.
I think we'll draw. I've been confident going into it that we're going to win, but I've seen Haaland's been dropped for the past 2 games. Don't know if he's going to be available, but if he comes back for the Spurs game fresh, we'll be worried for that one. And also, I don't like the fact that City have lost 3 games in a row going into the Spurs game. So they're probably going to be wanting some revenge from somewhere. Don't think that they're going to get, and I just don't see Spurs winning 4 Premier League wins in a row. It hasn't happened very often. As Hooks knows, his team hasn't done it very often this season either. So it's hard. It's definitely hard to do. And really quick, Julia, she's really on to you about this one. Who's scoring?
Who's scoring? Against Forest? I would say maybe Wanyeri or maybe Trossard.
Okay.
That's what kind of who I have to put my money on, innit? I can't really put my money on anyone else.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. He really ain't got much because their attack is down to bare bones. And as Hook says, it's going to be a lot better of injuries. So let's see. Injuries are due back. I think Saka's back in about a month. Martinelli in 2. So we'll see. We're going to get round to it. Make sure you're back here next week at 2 p.m. for the North Divide people. And yeah, man, I don't think we really got too much shows. Have you got anything to promote? Any shows coming up today, Hooks? Got any more streams?
I'm dropping a short really soon, but I might stream in the evening. I might do a stream in the evening, little night show. It depends what comes out. It depends what comes out in it, news, but I'll see if I can do something in the evening.
So keep a lookout for that one, people. Hooks might be about in the evening again. Maybe he'll answer some questions. You can ask him in the chat because he won't answer my questions. He might answer your questions.
I answered all your questions.
Chat. So yeah, man. Big up, people. Big up for tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out. We're aiming for 100. Man, North Divide. We're back next week. Wrong button.